This is not a very good hunting channel. Today, we're going to be looking at our cold weather glove comparison. It'll be the Kuiu Northstar and the Sitka Downpour GTX. Stay tuned. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at a couple of cold weather gloves. I've had these Kuiu Northstars since the start of the season, and they are and still are the warmest gloves I've ever had. They're unbelievably warm. Weatherproof and windproof and everything. I said it before in my other video. When I first got these, I drove around with them outside of my car window, and I got them last January, I think it was. And yeah, it's like minus 20 outside. I'm driving 70 kilometers an hour with my hand out the window, and you don't feel anything. So yeah, these have Primaloft insulation in them, and the, what are they called, petard or leather, whatever, leather palms up over the fingers and stuff. So this leather is really, really, really grippy. Like, you can kind of hear that now. Like, it does not, it sticks to things basically. The downside is they're fairly bulky, so I usually just wear them on the walk in or the bike ride in. I use my e-bike usually to get in to close to my stand and then walk the rest of the way. So these are great on the e-bike because with the added wind of the speed that you're moving, it helps keep my hands warm anyways. So it's got long cuffs. Compared to the, I guess I should start this comparison. So what I'm comparing them to is my other gloves that I just picked up. They're the Sitka Downpour GTX. They have Primaloft as well, not as much as these. I don't know how much is in these, but these are not nearly as bulky. Like, they're a much thinner glove. I don't know how much you can tell that it's thinner. But yeah, the main reason I got these was because these are bulky. It's hard to get the finger through a trigger guard. I've tried it with shotguns, my Savage rifle, and mostly because the cold weather is usually when I'm doing my crossbow season, so that's the coldest it usually ever is. So even fitting this through the Excalibur trigger guard is pretty tight, so I don't want to accidentally have to, I don't want to accidentally hit the trigger while I'm trying to get the glove in. So I picked up a pair of these Sitka ones, the Downpours, just because I wanted to be able to get something a little less bulky, but still warm, that when I'm holding the crossbow, either in a tree stand or a rifle or anything like that, if I have to hold it for an extended period of time, because if I don't have my tripod rest, or a hook to hang my crossbow or anything like that, I'm going to end up having to hold either my crossbow or rifle or shotgun, and that just sucks the warmth out of my hands. So I picked these up. These are waterproof, Gore-Tex, and insulated. Their palm is same kind of thing, the petard leather, but just in a small portion here. The rest of it, I don't know if it's like a goat leather or something like that for the thumb and stuff like that, and nothing on the ring and pinky finger. But yeah, I haven't used these much. I had them out when I was doing my cold weather gear extreme cold test, and they did great. They're noticeably not as warm as the Northstars, but again, because they don't have nearly as much insulation in them. Yeah, the cuff on these, it's a Velcro enclosure. I leave it pretty much as wide as it'll go, just so I can get my sleeves of my base layers in, and then the other outer layers can go over top. This one, they're much longer, as you can see. It's like a good, well, like that, so you can see. Well, here, I'll twist my hand so you can see where it is. So it's a good couple inches longer. Yeah, overall, I'd say build quality, I think these are made much, maybe not much better, but they feel a lot more durable, a lot tougher, thicker leather. Just everything on these is like first class. These are really nice too, but it seems like, you know, they kind of cheaped out with the amount of leather they put on the palm, and you know, not putting anything on here, because even walking through the bush and stuff like that, sticks and whatever, I'd be worried about tearing some of this, whereas this is like, that's tough, like, I don't know what material that is, some kind of like cotton nylon kind of thing, I have no idea, but it feels very tough, and the palm is like bulletproof, so that I would trust crashing through the brush with over these things, but still, I can't verify the waterproofness of these. Apparently, again, hit or miss. You look on the reviews that Sitka gets with their gloves. Seems like some guys can go hours and hours in rain and they're fine. Some people 20 minutes and they're wet. So I don't know, you know, what the story is there. But I just know that in minus 40 degree weather, these were okay. I was wearing the Fanatics underneath them, so I wasn't wearing them just by themselves. But even with the Fanatic gloves underneath the Downpour, I was still able to get my hands comfortably in the pocket of my Fanatic jacket. So for that, it's nice too, because with these, it's tight to be able to get these into that kangaroo pouch of the Fanatic. So, like I said, these things are better. They're warmer, and you know, if you have a gun or a crossbow that has a trigger guard big enough to fit these big gloves through, then I would go for this one as a really cold weather hunting glove. But if you're kind of limited like I am with my trigger guards, I'd suggest going with the Downpours. They have other, I think Stormfront and some other stuff like that. Now the store that I tried these out, they didn't have those, like the other Sitka gloves. So I don't know how thick they are in relation to these, but I was able to try these on in the store and ask the guy at the store if I could try them with one of the crossbows, just to make sure that it would fit through the trigger guard. And he was nice enough, and he went and grabbed me a Mag 340 like I have, and I was able to try them out. So as for sizing, they're both large. I got both in large. These feel a little bit bigger, like I could have went with a medium. I mean, measure your hand out. That's what would be the best way to do, is measure your hand out. But I knew I'd be wearing gloves underneath this, so it works out pretty well. There's not really an issue of it feeling too big when I have the Fanatics underneath them. It seems to, make up that a little bit of extra room. And the dexterity is really good. Like, you can move really well, even with 2 pairs of gloves on. It's really easy to move around. Oh yes, the other thing about these guys is that I don't know if it's the Gore-Tex membrane or something, but okay. So with the heat on in the camp, it's about 5 degrees Celsius in here, and it's not making a crunchy noise. But earlier this morning, on their own, that's the other thing. On their own, when it's cold out, it makes a crunching noise, like a what do you call it? Almost like a snow pant, crispy, crunchy, cellophane type noise when it's cold on their own. And I had that this morning when I was doing my test. But with it being on my hand, the warmth from my hand kind of eliminated that. So I was worried that maybe it would be an issue, if it's in cold weather and I'm drawing down on a deer and my gloves are making crinkly noises while I move them out of my pocket or anything like that. But I don't think it'll be an issue, because even with it being minus 25 outside and like close to minus 40 with the wind, when they're in the Fanatic pouch and just being warmed by the heat of your hand, that issue of the crinkling, I don't know if it's a Gore-Tex layer or whatever, the layer inside of this, that wasn't an issue after it warmed up a bit. So take that for what it is. So anyways, guys, so that's my comparison. I don't think you can go wrong with either one of these. They're both really good gloves. These are slightly more expensive, but again, like, all this stuff goes on sale, right? So I'm trying to think. Usually, it should be around this time of year. Black Friday also, they do sales. So if you can get these things on sale, they're a lot more manageable. But they're really good gloves. These are incredibly good gloves. Jury's still out on these. I can't say for sure about their weatherproof, whatever. I know these are weatherproof. You do not get wet in these. Granted, now that's in like sleet and snow and stuff. I haven't been in a rainstorm with them yet, so I don't know. Take this with a grain of salt. Same thing with this. So I don't know about the weatherproofing on these, but just as far as cold weather goes, they both do really well. These are going to do better, but again, they're a lot bulkier than these. So if you can, test them out before you buy. I know it's not always possible with these brands, especially Kuiu. But yeah, either way, I don't think you can go wrong. They should both last a long time and keep you warm. So that's the point, right? So hope you guys found that interesting, and hope that helps clear up any questions you might have had going into looking at these gloves for your next purchase. Have a good one, guys. Take care.